crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadrunner.com. Good morning, Horn of Z's, your sip of chaga coffee. All right, there's a lot going on right now. For all you new crypto people, cryptos are rigged. The crypto market is rigged. If you want to get angry about it, start talking to your congressmen who approve it through Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary of the United States of America, and all around the world. They're rigged by so many people, the good guys, the bad guys. The key is picking the right cryptos, and there's not many of them. I hate to tell you, all the DeFi people, you're in deep trouble. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, in a rigged market, you want to be on the side of the riggers. And you look at each coin, some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are controlled. I think Bitcoin is absolutely controlled by the deep state. I think Ethereum, I don't know. There's a battle for Ethereum. I think it's extremely slow. They better fix those problems. But there's other better choices you can make for Ethereum as well. The key is to just pick a couple, just a handful of cryptos. I know all the new people are like, oh my God, I'm going to get rich by getting these cryptos that are 0.0 cents, and then they're going to go up from there. Well, they can go down just as fast as you're learning now, especially the rigged ones, because you got people like Binance, the largest exchange in the world, that can, click a mouse and destroy the price of anything, probably Bitcoin as well. And then there's Tether, the ridiculous stable coin invented by the deep state pedos that controls all kinds of prices. So the key to learning about cryptos is be ready for the manipulation, be ready to hodl, hold on for dear life. Unless you have an inside track with the deep state pedophiles, I would not try to trade this market because they control it. They push it up, push it down. Same with the US government that's fighting that. Who knows who's going to win, but if you invest in the right thing, a crypto that both sides want to or have to have succeed, that's where you want to be. That's what Theta is and Theta Fuel. I'll get to that in 1 second. Right now, all the cryptos are getting smashed. Bitcoin just fell below its floor, so this is kind of probably the final washout. I don't know how low it'll go, probably get into the 20s. I'm not a technical guy, but all the technical guys just love to run these prices, and clearly a lot of big money wants to get in. The only way they're going to get in is if there's blood in the streets. They're kicking themselves for not getting in 2012, 2013. So what do? They rig the prices. No, it is not a regulated market. But then again, do you want a regulated market? Silver's a regulated market, and it's rigged every single day by the largest banks in the world and the largest central banks in the world and the U.S. government and all the governments. Silver is absolutely the most rigged item on the planet and most undervalued item on the planet. I'm talking to Andy Scheckman later today about what's going on with silver. I think we're going to have a huge month in July. The July deliveries are going to go off the charts. So between now and then, everybody's jockeying for position, so they're slamming the price down. Kind of like in cryptos. They slam the price down because they want to get in before the next run up. So Bitcoin has fallen below the 32,000, which I think was the low floor. Who knows how far it'll go down. If you're a hodler, you don't really care. You prepare for these moments mentally. If you have anything left, where would I put it? In Theta and Theta Fuel, although they're doing well, compared to everybody else. Litecoin, I think Litecoin will be the number one means of exchange when that's necessary. It's just not necessary yet. When it is, everybody's going to try to get their hands on some Litecoin. But it's not necessary yet. Wait until the banks collapse. As you can see, Theta it's doing all right. It was up at 12. Let's take a look at Theta. It was up at $10 in the last 24 hours and fell back down to $8.51. It's been in that range for a while. It's not doing as bad as all the rest, but our little buddy Theta Fuel has absolutely killed it and will continue to kill it because we're coming up to a point where all Theta Fuel can be staked. And right now, only 13% of Theta Fuel is staked. And 60% of Theta is staked. 60% is great. That means only 40% is left to trade. Not that you need any cryptocurrencies to trade on these exchanges that are literally can create them out of thin air. They don't even create them; they just trade them. And a lot of the exchanges do not allow withdrawals when times are busy because they didn't have them in the first place. So just keep that in mind. But Theta Fuel has narrowed the gap significantly to, let's take a look at what the gap is. So the gap is what I'm talking about, Theta versus Theta Fuel price. So Theta is at 8.42. And then Theta Fuel is at 53 cents. We're down to 16. Now remember, this gap was up on the 80s a while ago and keeps falling and falling and falling. The calculation on what do they call it, the golden ratio, or the golden ratio, something like that, 6.2. And right now we're at 16. So it's probably have at least, I think it will get down to the 6.2 and below because there's only 13% that is staked right now. Now, obviously, when Theta Fuel staking kicks in on June 30th, that percentage will rise. But before we get there, I mean, even if you're looking at staking Theta versus Theta Fuel, once that happens, right now it's obviously Theta, but once that happens, you'll be sharing a much bigger pot if you're part of that 13% come June 30th. So yeah, everybody and their mother is going to want to stake T-Fuel. And then add on top of that all the new features, all the NFTs coming out, NFT Marketplace coming out on the 15th. And NFTs are going to be huge, gigantic. And when Tom Brady comes out and says, my company Autograph is going to use the Theta blockchain with Theta Fuel as for our NFTs, you're going to see Theta and Theta Fuel quadruple, 10x, 20x, you name it. You name it. That's the kind of endorsement you want. That's why one of the reasons I call it the Q coin is it's not controlled by the deep state, it's controlled by the good guys, in my belief. And obviously, Tom Brady, being a buddy of Trump's, it's the Q coin. Anyway, so yeah, we're seeing Theta Fuel, it went up to 60 cents. Where do I think it'll end up by the end of the month? Probably $2. So a 4x move from here. Wow, that's a lot. What would Theta do? Probably double, maybe more. And then there'll be this crazy juxtaposition where at some point, all the people who are playing the ratio will try to get out of Theta Fuel and back into Theta. And they're going to find the door shut on Theta. And then Theta is going to jump 10, 20x. Because people are panicking to get into Theta because you have more control, less inflation, things like that. But like I said, why have 50 different cryptos when you can have one that you know the good guys and the bad guys want to succeed? Why do they want it to succeed? Because without Theta, the internet is broken. The internet needs bandwidth. Bandwidth is disappearing fast. Some people said, oh, the decrease in the population because everybody's going to die off is going to be the thing that cures the bandwidth. Well, if everybody dies off, you got a lot more problems with CDNs. You don't mean getting internet, truthfully. Those companies would all be gone because the banks would collapse. Their derivative couldn't handle a mass die-off. So there'd be other problems. Probably T-Fuel would be the last thing left standing. Theta and Theta Fuel, the last things left standing in that apocalyptic world. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's in the cards for humanity. But we'll see, right? We will see. I've been wrong before. People say I'm too rosy. Bix, there are no good guys. There are no good. This is before the Q movement and Trump and all that. They kept saying, there's no good guys out there. There's no good guys. And then all of a sudden the Q movement went, hey, there's good guys. And then that kind of disappears and nobody knows what's going on behind the scenes. And then people are saying, now there's no good guys. It's the end of the world. Damn, that's exhausting to change your mind so many times. I know we create our own reality. And we all do it together, but we also do it individually. And absolutely, the good guys are going to win. We are going to kick the pedos and the bad aliens and all that shit is going to be kicked out. Kicked off planet. And we're going to live, I'm not saying we're going to live in a wishes and rainbows world like Ruta does in the comic from the Fed, because people are people. There's going to be good and bad people. There's going to be manipulators for the rest of time. But there'll also be times when the manipulators are taken out and the government officials, the criminal government officials, are taken out. And that's where we're getting to. And that's the exciting thing. So yes, there is a play between Theta Fuel and Theta. If you know how to do it, you go to simpleswap.io. Exodus does that. They'll trade Theta for Theta Fuel, but very small amounts. If you have a lot of Theta and you want to swap them for Theta Fuel for the merging of the ratio, I recommend Caleb and Brown. Caleb and Brown, right below this, I'm going to put my link to Caleb and Brown to get, 30% off, I believe, in their fees, if you link with Road to Ruta. And we've also got a giveaway. My buddy Jeff called me the other day and said, hey, we want to reward your Road to Ruta members. So within the next couple of weeks, we're going to choose 5 Road to Ruta members who are going to get $1,000 worth of T-Fuel each. Road to Ruta members who have joined Caleb and Brown. So if you join with the link below, I think it's a minimum of $2,000 to join to start to trade with Caleb and Brown, but you got to go through the KYC and all that. They've ramped up that speed, so definitely click below. You got to go through the whole motion. You're going to have to show, they're an Australian broker. That's why they can get Theta and Theta Fuel. No one else can get it in the U.S. At least the big exchanges that you can trust, like Gemini and Kraken and Coinbase. Everybody's like, when are they going on? It's too important. I'm sorry, Theta is too important to be put on those exchanges, because once it does, it's going to be out of the reach of everybody. They're going to have to be paying, $1,000 per coin for a Theta token, things like that at some point. Not tomorrow, but when Theta goes on the big U.S. exchanges, it opens the whole world, 330 million people, to the ability to easily buy, store, and stake Theta and Theta Fuel. That's gigantic. Right now, it's a hidden secret. That's why those who have figured out how to pick up some Theta and some Theta Fuel have been rewarded tremendously. I can't tell you how many people on the Road to Ruta have said, oh my God, I thought I could never retire, and now I am retired. I had no way to pay for my kids' college, and now they're going to the best college in the world because I could finally afford it. And that's going to continue. You just got to ride the ups and downs, but Theta is that coin. Theta and Theta Fuel, that whole dynamic, the blockchain, so many things you can do with the Theta blockchain, and it's about the partnerships. And this autograph partnership with Tom Brady is going to blow the roof off everything. So yes, those who get in early, which is still very early, are the ones who are going to be rewarded. If you want to join up with Caleb and Brown, I think it's $2,000 and $3,000 minimum, and you can buy Theta and Theta Fuel, or you can do the swap with them as well. A lot of people own Theta but are like missing out on the swap money, because if Theta Fuel does twice, the ratio gets down to 8-to-1, like Jenny Moonstone said it would get to at least 8-to-1. That's double what Theta Fuel will do double what Theta's going to do, even though Theta's going to do really well. So, a link below. Again, a link to Caleb and Brown, to the sign up for your KYC. You're going to have to tell them everything. You can't hide in this thing. So you're going to have to show them, take a picture of your passport, all that stuff is necessary. Otherwise, go to something like SimpleSwap if you have small amounts, and just try the swap there. It's more expensive. Again, if you use my link below, you're going to get a discount. And you'll be eligible for the Theta Fuel giveaway. They're giving away $5,000 worth of Theta Fuel. 5 people get $1,000 each of Theta Fuel if they are a Caleb and Brown customer linked to the Road to Ruta, to the Bix Weir link. So right below. All right. Something else I want to talk about. And it's very important, and I don't know why it's coming up now, but since Cliff's data has been really accurate lately, his old data is all coming true. One of the things in his data was Veritasium was going to match the price of Bitcoin. everybody was like, what? That could never be. That could never be. I was like, it should have been. And it is not over. Again, Veritasium, Reggie Middleton is the guy that the SEC took out because the banksters told him to. Goldman Sachs told them to. And they did it in a very, very poor way, in my opinion. Ridiculous. The whole thing was a fraud. The guy who was in charge of it left as soon as that happened, ran off to get his riches in other crypto companies. I think Veritasium will come back. Now, I've called it a lottery ticket. I know all the Veritasium people who use Veritasium don't like me saying that, but as an investor, which is all I am, if you're investing right now in Veritasium, it's extremely hard to get. The only place you can get it is Market Talks. And that's, iffy if you get it off. I think you can only pull off 50 Veri at a time off that exchange if they have it. So yes, if you have like $10,000 to invest in Veritasium, you'll probably double the price. And if you tried to sell it, you'd probably drop the price through the floor. But the reason I'm saying now is a time to have a second look at Veritasium. Reggie had a great interview he just posted. Reggie Middleton is his YouTube channel. And it's called Global Financial Behemoths Citing and Infringing Upon Veritasium Patent IP. Reggie has the patent for DeFi. I hate to tell all you DeFi holders. Reggie Middleton in 2013 patented DeFi. And unless you have the permission of Reggie Middleton, he could take everything down. And the U.S. government, that's the other thing. The U.S. government can take down these pesky little DeFi companies. How do they do that? By approving Reggie's patent in the U.S. It was already approved in Asia. And why would they do that after they took him down? Because they took him down through fraudulent means. And oh, by the way, did I tell you they froze 98 million of 100 million Veri tokens? They're frozen. Nobody knows what the government's doing with them. So there's only 2 million tokens out there trading, Veritasium tokens. Now, there is a huge difference between Veritasium, the token, and Reggie Middleton's patent. They are not linked. But at the same time, you got to ask yourself, if Reggie Middleton invented a solution to the biggest problem in financial markets, which is rehypothecation of assets, these middlemen, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citibank sucking all the value out of transactions. He invented peer-to-peer transactions, and he patented it. They have not approved his patent yet. But if they do, you can kiss all these DeFi companies goodbye. These are the DeFi market cap right now is $85 billion in DeFi company market cap. So Uniswap, Chainlink, Wrap Bitcoin, DAI. I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off that I say this. Okay, what are the odds of the U.S. government approving Reggie Middleton's patent? Very, very tiny. Very tiny. Like I said, it's a lottery ticket type of win if you have one Veri token and all of a sudden the U.S. government approves the patent. Which would tell the whole world that the true inventor of DeFi, Reggie Middleton, did it. He patented it in 2013. Just keep an eye on that. And if you are a Michelle White Dove follower, I haven't said this on YouTube. I haven't told Michelle or his team, or her team, Pete. Michelle said something in her latest crypto report. It's great, by the way, so go to Patreon, Michelle White Dove, and get it. But she says something on that report that she said she's only told maybe 2 people in her history of giving readings, and Spirit has never said anything like this. And it's basically get yourself a lottery ticket. Of course, it was interpreted as, go to your local state lotteries and get a lottery ticket. From the Road to Ruta side, I've been calling Veritasium a lottery ticket for a long time. Now I know Veritasium's not on the purple, these are the greatest coins for Michelle White Dove. And she saw nothing but problems. Even Jenny's they've got him strung up. From the Road to Ruta perspective, When this thing all crashes, we need a way forward, and the best way forward, in my opinion, is not destroying the old system, but fixing the old system. And Reggie Middleton invented a fix where we can get rid of the COMEX, the LBMA, the New York Stock Exchange, the way it's done currently, the DTCC, Seed and Company, that I've been screaming about for 20 years, the middleman who steals all the wealth. It is a huge invention. The Invention of DeFi by Reggie Middleton. And all you people who have DeFi tokens and say, Bix, you don't know what you're talking about, you apparently have not read the patent application that Reggie filed in 2013. Go read it. And watch this video, because he's right. 100% right. He invented DeFi. And anybody else that comes after either has to get his approval, or he can take the whole thing down. And the U.S. government especially, they don't like DeFi. They don't like that. It's uncontrollable. The U.S. government does not like DeFi. No governments like the DeFi, decentralized finance. But they can all stop it in one approval, and that's the approval of Reggie's patent that already got approved in Asia, by the way. So all the Asia DeFi companies, all Reggie needs is a couple good lawyers to take them down. He doesn't want to take them down. I think Reggie would work with the U.S. government, as is in Cliff's data, but we will see. But the only place to get it, I think, is on Market Talks, and it's almost impossible to deal with, and the price goes up every time anybody goes to buy. So that's where it is. I don't even know. Let's take a look at where Very is these days. It's been hovering around $20. There it is, $20. And yes, if you look at the history of Very, it was up in, this is when it was going to literally, this is the beginning of DeFi. When in 2000, January 8th, Veritasium hit $466. And then the takedown happened down here, way down here. The takedown by the SEC, and basically Goldman Sachs and friends said, no, we can't have this. We can't have a solution to our money-making scheme of stealing wealth from humanity. So they took down Reggie. They took down all the Very holders. I was one of them. I still am one of them. I'm not selling my Veritasium lottery tickets. So that's where it is. If this happens, if Reggie's patent is approved, and the U.S. government can do that, and it's pending, it's patent pending, and they haven't done anything with the 98 million Very tokens, they can easily work with Reggie to implement that scenario to fix the COMEX, the LBMA, and get rid of the middlemen. Then that's the lottery ticket I think Michelle might be talking about. This is my take, at least. I know. I think differently than most people, but hey, for Road to Ruta members, it's done you pretty well. And those of you who got Theta and Theta Fuel, you're going to be very happy in the very near future, especially with the June 30th blockchain upgrade. Staking of Theta Fuel. That's crazy. And Theta Fuel might just turn into one of those meme coins. Like Dogecoin, out of the blue, goes up 5,000%. Yeah, if Tom Brady says, hey, buy yourself some Theta Fuel and get some NFTs, yes, you're going to see that kind of move in Theta Fuel. Anyway, to join the Road to Ruta, go to roadtoruta.com, hit subscribe today, and I will send you this, the coolest silver coin ever, the Ruta coin. Ruta jumping up and down on a silver brick road, cave of gold in the Grand Canyon, and a lovely burlap sack that it comes in. This is Bix Weir. I'll be talking to Andy Scheckman later today. If you don't have your physical silver, that's the next thing that's going to pop. I think Veritasium I think Theta and T-Fuel are going to pop within June, which is a huge jumps in June. And then right on the back of that is going to be silver. So you want to be invested in both of those. Physical in your own possession, no third-party storage, no ETFs, none of that. That's not going to survive. The ETF's great place to confiscate silver, especially for Canada. So just the Sprott ETF, I love it. I love Eric Sprott. But I also know that he runs his operation in a socialist country. The number one thing they're going to do is confiscate gold and silver from the big storage areas, and this will be the biggest storage area in the world. Why do you think all the gold is held in London? Because they're ready to confiscate it at any time. So you got all the silver moving to Canada, and it's easy. You know why they're allowing it, because they can confiscate it easily. And in the U.S., we got all kinds of gold in the ground, so we don't have to worry about gold. Billions of tons, billions of ounces, millions of tons of gold, millions of tons. Jeffrey Christian will tell you 200,000 tons total. No, there's millions of tons in the ground within the United States that we've just been waiting. Ruta has been waiting for that day. And I think that day is about here. It's going to be a good 4th of July. It's Bix Weir, roadruta.com.
Hang on tight, my friends. Theta Girl's on her way. Well, I was searching for a token that would fly to the sky, dump everything on her, let her take me so high. Well, she said her name was Theta, wanna go for a ride. All band expansion, always there by my side. She's my Theta girl, she really rocks my world. Go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. I said go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. Well, the 40X move in 2020 was fun. You ain't seen how high my little Theta can run. Coinbase alive, 300 million or more. America will love her while they watch her price soar. She's my Theta girl, she really rocks my world. Go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. I said go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. Go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. Go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. You're my Theta girl, you really rock my world. Go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. Well, my wife got really jealous, I love Theta too much. She said, I know it sounds crazy, I'm missing your touch. You're gonna have to choose, it's either me or your coin. I'm sad to see her go, but look where Theta is gone. She's my Theta girl, she really rocks my world. Go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. I said go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. Go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. Go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. You're my Theta girl, you really rock my world. Go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. Well, I believe she'll rise $1,000 or more. Everybody watching Theta partner galore. Samsung and Sony, Apple, Netflix and more. Google and then YouTube, well, you watch it press soar. It's my Theta girl, she really rocks my world. Go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. Sit go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. Go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. Go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go. You're my Theta girl, you really rock my world. Go Theta, go Theta, go Theta, go.